it's been, we've been almost 2 weeks without appreciable rain. We're finally starting to get kind of dry. And I know it doesn't do much good to be out here right before the rain. I should have been out here a couple days ago to chop up the weeds so they lay on the surface and dry instead of being planted back in by the rain. I've always had this really interesting gust of wind. It's kind of windy now. But I'm out here with the TC, and we're trying a new row setting. We might have to go change it up while it rains. I got them set all the way in. We got two 24-inch rototiller heads, and maybe if we had 30-inch rows instead of 38s, this would work better, because I was hoping this tiller head would catch, you know, the untilled strip. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to move one of them out a little bit, so that way I catch this untilled spot, because there's still grass rooted in. That's not good. So you have to go down and come back. But while it rains, I might go back to the house and pull the tiller head out just 3 or 4 inches, so one run's close, and we go down and back on one row to get everything all ground up good. We may get that chance to go back to the house sooner than we expected, but you know, I'm trying to get rained on right now. We could really use some rain for once. I know I was fully against rain there for the longest time, but once we get a little bit of rain, I will go back to probably disliking rain. We'll just use a bit to get the rest of the silage corn to germinate, because it's not it's been in the ground at least 10 days. You know, we've got some plants like right here that sprouted. Then obviously there's a bunch of row where it hasn't sprouted yet, so that's going to be exciting. Good thing a lot of it will be for silage, but that's beside the point. Let's watch this guy run a little bit. TC's handling it well. We straddle one row. I can't put the gauge wheels in any, so I went outside the next set of rows. Woo! Yeah, somebody's getting dumped on over there, and it sure isn't us. Come on, rain on my parade. Just a little bit, and then it can stop for another week, so we can get more stuff done. Just maybe. The rain that's gonna get us is over that way. It's coming up out of the south. Enough weather watching. We wanna see the machines. I'd say this a couple months ago, but I just got soaked, and it's pretty awesome. As long as this rain stops within a reasonable level. So, while we got that rain, I'm going to try to adjust width a little bit to make sure we catch all our weeds, and then we'll get back to this after the rain stops, or in a couple days if it dries out. Well, while it rained, I moved out this one tiller head. And we can see right there where it was because of the dust mark, and I moved it out 3 to 4 inches, and hopefully that's just enough to cover and get our missed spot, because the tiller, you know, there's no blades there, so it's not going to really till up that center spot. Hopefully that works. I probably should bring the maybe we'll bring the big hammer with me, because to move these, I'm going to take these bolts loose. And the way the beam is set up, I don't know how I describe that, but with these two indentations, you know, we've got we can have parts mounted on both sides and not interfere, so you can mount a tiller head right here where the 3-point is mounted to the beam. And unfortunately, it usually ends up requiring some hammering to get the units moved out. Well, let's go to the field and see what sort of mess we make. Take a look at our new configuration. I didn't pick a very good spot for corn. It must have been really wet here when it rained. So out here, of low importance, we have you know, the gauge wheel. Kind of helps make sure the machine is tilted properly and stops it from going too low, because we don't need to go too deep. You know, we're getting plenty deep. 3-4 inches, make sure we get all the roots and things tilled up on the weeds. Now I'm doing my down pass, and the way I've got it set up, I can look straight down the center of the tractor to have this row run right next to the tiller head. And then here's our other gauge wheel. So it is kind of a, you know, wide setup for one row. And we're catching, you know, our untilled zone in the middle. Definitely right here, as we can see. Well, over here you can't see much because it's been tilled twice, but I think we're doing pretty good hitting it 4 times because we have so much growth in between the rows. Yeah, you see all the growth. Mostly I'm doing this for the grass because we could spray the corn to kill the broadleaves real easy, but I'm doing this for the grass that's coming up. And then I think Dad's gonna come through and spray for broadleaves in the corn, which will be like whatever's left in the row, and hopefully I can get close enough to the row, and usually I'm doing pretty good. You know, I can't get much closer without having too much ironworm action. You gotta watch out for that pesky ironworm. It'll just jump out when you're cultivating, and funny, it's only when you're cultivating. Darn ironworm. Let's take a look at this from the front. Now you can't see the tiller heads, you just see the gauge wheels on either side. I gotta say, it is really nice and relaxing using the TC to rototill. Not that I don't like bigger tractors, but it's just nice to do some, I don't even call this heavy, but you know, some light farm work, more than just mowing grass and moving wagons. I'm out in the field with the TC, and it's just delightful. So we're gonna get back to the action. Keep killing these weeds. It'll be one world of a day when weeds become resistant to iron. Be Wild West all over again. So that's the machine. That's our new configuration. If you remember in previous videos, the heads were set out wide and I was straddling. I had a tiller head over here and I had a tiller head over here. It was hard to figure out. So now I just go down and back on each row. Essentially each one gets tilled 4 times. No, that wasn't good. That one's planted like it was gonna grow again with its roots in the ground.